The deputy president's path to the presidency has been very clear. As a matter of fact, the DP has played very smart politics. He began by outwitting the former president Daniel Toroitich arap Moi in Rift Valley. And today, the deputy president is actually the king in Rift Valley. He then went to ODM party. And in ODM party, the deputy president again succeeded in leaving the party with a huge chunk of members of parliament. And before we knew, William Ruto became the first deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. And his path to the presidency was very clear. In fact, the only thing which was standing between the deputy president and the presidency was the remainder of the term of President Uhuru Kenyatta. But it is now clear that as the deputy president was charting his path to the presidency, his boss, President Uhuru Kenyatta, was also laying traps for him. And the deputy president has successfully walked into those traps. So today, I want us to look at the traps which the president laid for his deputy. But before we do that, if you're watching this video for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Now back to the main issue, and I want to go straight to these traps which I strongly believe the president laid for his deputy. The first trap he laid for him was actually the Jubilee merger. And I want us to go back to history. But for us to understand what I'm going to say, I want you to listen to these clips.
Na sisi tuko na strategic plan ya miaka 15, miaka 20. Na wafuasi wa URP hatujafika safari yetu. Safari yetu tutasema tumefika wakati tumehakikisha ya kwamba baada ya Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta kushinda kiti ya 2017, lazima ndugu yetu William Ruto akuwe rais wa Kenya. Lazima tutasimama siku ile Mheshimiwa William Ruto amekuwa rais wa Kenya na amri and commander-in-chief of the Kenyan Defense Forces. Ndio mimi naambia wafuasi wa URP, tukiungana na tukiwa Jubilee, musilale, tukate kura, tusimame na viongozi wetu, tuhakikishe ya kwamba Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta amechaguliwa kama rais wa Kenya 2017 kupitia chama cha Jubilee Party ambaye itazaliwa insha Allah, itazaliwa kesho. Tukifanya hiyo, tuendelee na hiyo safari mpaka 2022 tukiwa Wakenya wote tumeungana kwa makabila na madini na mahali tumetoka. 2022 tumweke ofisi ya rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya nani? Mheshimiwa William Ruto.
We are free to join other parties. You cannot bamboozle us na kulazimisha sisi kuingia kwa chama ambaye hatujui nani aliunda. Na hii chama ni ya nini? Agenda yake ni kitu gani? Hii agenda, hawajatuambia agenda ya hii ni nini. In that case, we are not heading in that direction. Poleni sana. Nendeni kwa heri.
Now, let us get back to history a bit and understand how William Ruto found himself in Jubilee Party and Jubilee Alliance. In 2007, Kenyans went for an election, and ODM Party believed that their elections were rigged. The deputy president was deeply involved in that election. And after the election, the deputy president felt betrayed by Raila Odinga. Because initially, the arrangement was that Raila Odinga was going to be the president of the Republic of Kenya. Then Musalia Mudavadi was going to be the vice president of the Republic of Kenya. And because we didn't have the prime minister in the constitution, there was an agreement or a memorandum of understanding that William Ruto was going to be made the prime minister. And because the elections was rigged, or their victory was stolen, according to them, Annan came into this country, and we had a coalition agreement. Annan came into this country, and we had the coalition government. So Raila Odinga was made the prime minister. And because we didn't have the post of the prime minister in the constitution, Raila Odinga decided to make Musalia Mudavadi, who was his running mate, the deputy prime minister. And remember, the original arrangement was that the deputy president was going to be the prime minister. So the deputy president had expected that because they didn't get the presidency, so it was just fair for him to be now made the deputy prime minister. And that explains the fallout between Raila Odinga and William Ruto. So the fallout started manifesting itself at that point. On the other side, we had Mwai Kibaki and Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta contested against Mwai Kibaki in 2002, and he was defeated. In 2007, Uhuru Kenyatta then decided to support Mwai Kibaki. And indeed, he supported Mwai Kibaki. And after that election, Uhuru Kenyatta was made the deputy prime minister on the other side, at the expense of Martha Karua. That also explains the differences between Martha Karua and Uhuru Kenyatta. So then the country started moving forward. And before we knew, the Ocampo 6 were named. So the deputy president found himself here, Uhuru Kenyatta found himself there. So because these guys were facing challenges and the NIS managed to penetrate the deputy president, he started working very closely with the system and fell out deeply with Raila Odinga. So it went on like that. So the deputy president then decided to form his own political party. So first, after leaving ODM, he formed, I think he joined the UDF. No. After leaving ODM, he joined the UDM. But he did not succeed in taking control of that party. So he ended up forming URP party for the pastoralists, which was well received in those quarters. On the other side, Uhuru Kenyatta was also contemplating running. Not really contemplating. The system then wanted Musalia Mudavadi to be the president. But one man who was part of the system, John Michuki, insisted that Uhuru Kenyatta had to be the president. So Uhuru Kenyatta also, his friends sat down, 4 of them. There was Nje Muturi, who is currently the deputy chief of staff at State House. There was David Murathe, the man giving the deputy president hell. Then there was Bruce Odhiambo, the late Bruce Odhiambo, who was that time, I think, a personal assistant, very close friend to Uhuru Kenyatta. And then there was Justin Muturi. So these 4 friends of President Uhuru Kenyatta were tasked with looking for a party. So they shopped for a party and found the National Alliance Party, which was the property of Nginyo Kariuki. So Uhuru Kenyatta finally managed to have his own political party called TNA. William Ruto now had his political party called URP. So as fate would have it, these gentlemen eventually decided to come together against all odds. So they came together, campaigned together, and luck being on their side, they won the presidency in 2013. And the path to the deputy president, to the presidency, was very clear. Uhuru Kenyatta had committed to support him for after his term. So the deputy president, in the second term, now when they were going for this 2017 election, saw an opportunity. Because he had realized that for you to win elections in Kenya, you must have the numbers. And for him to have the numbers, he needed to take control of that TNA party. And how was he going to take control of that TNA party? The deputy president came up with the idea of merging all these political parties, which were forming Jubilee. They were around 14, but basically there were 2 major political parties. So he came up with the idea of merging all these political parties, making them one big political party. And that move was actually resisted by people like Isaac Ruto. They resisted that. So he pushed for the merger. And that's why I played that original clip. Because in that clip, the people you saw there were mostly his allies. So the deputy president pushed. And ultimately, all these parties merged. The president played the deputy president in this case. Let me explain to you how the deputy president played into the trap. The idea of forming this party was good for the deputy president for his future politics. Uhuru Kenyatta, it was also good for Uhuru Kenyatta because Uhuru Kenyatta needed absolute majority to rule in the second term. So Uhuru Kenyatta also pushed it. And of course, he was not going to contest again, so he didn't have any interest. But Uhuru Kenyatta started plotting. While the deputy president was plotting on how to take control of TNA through this merger, the president was also plotting. So the first task was to form a committee. To negotiate or to steer the merger. So two people were appointed, Kiraitu Murungi and Noah Wekesa. Those two gentlemen were President Uhuru Kenyatta's men. So they engineered, they plotted, and they agreed that we needed to merge. After agreeing and setting up every other thing, now they task a team to draft the constitution of the party, of the new party. So Uhuru Kenyatta now agreed, let us merge TNA. Let's dissolve TNA, let's dissolve URP. But now, we are going to make a constitution. And the deputy president was happy that finally he has succeeded. So he's going to control Jubilee Party, TNA, through Jubilee Party after the president exit in 2017. As the deputy president was plotting on how he could get control of TNA through this merger, Uhuru Kenyatta then decided to form that team. So Kiraitu Murungi and Noah Wekesa came up and agreed, now let's have a team to craft or to draft the constitution for the party. The deputy president was still happy. He was achieving his objective. So they ended up appointing two people to draft the constitution. So the two people were actually Nje Muturi and Ken Ogeto, who is currently the Solicitor General. Again, these two gentlemen are President Uhuru Kenyatta's key allies. They believe in Uhuru Kenyatta and nothing else. So they crafted the constitution of Jubilee Party. And in that constitution, they made the president or the party leader a supreme leader. Basically can override everything and anything in that party. Then the party also made the constitution, and the chairman was not that powerful. And then they made the position of the Secretary General another powerful post. So when they formed interim officials, what happened? Uhuru Kenyatta automatically became the party leader. William Ruto became the deputy party leader. What that meant was simple. Uhuru Kenyatta had absolute control over the party. He can do anything. So the deputy president can only work under delegated duties. Then they appointed Rafael Tuju to be the Secretary General. Rafael Tuju Pia, another close ally of the president. So then the deputy president nominated the deputy secretary general, Caleb Kositany. Again, in the constitution, doesn't have any power. All the powers are with the secretary general. Then the chairman, they decided and gave someone who is not known as the chairman of Jubilee Party. Then that was the guy who was seconded by William Ruto. But the guy was not known. So the government was easily manipulated him. But they gave him a deputy president. They gave him a deputy vice chair. The vice chair was David Murathe. So you have mtu mdogo kama the chairman, then a huge personality. So it's like now, you have someone very small as the leader, then you have another huge guy with a huge name as the deputy. So with that, President Uhuru Kenyatta took control of Jubilee Party. So that's how the president laid the first trap for the deputy president. The deputy president had planned to take control of TNA party together with URP party through this merger. So today, the deputy president is realizing that he doesn't even have a political party. Yesterday, I witnessed on TV Rafael Tuju claiming that the deputy president is actually supposed to go, they are supposed to meet tomorrow. And Dennis Itumbi was posting something very interesting. that Tuju was lying. That is the deputy president who called Tuju to inquire why Jubilee headquarters has been closed for the last 7 months. And I wondered, just recently we saw Kalonzo Musyoka, Murathe, and the rest said they packed at Jubilee headquarters. So these guys have realized that they don't have a party. So the deputy president has been trying to form Jubilee Alliance, and it's not coming up. So in my next video, I want to explain to you something which Itumbi is trying to allege on his tweet, and why I strongly believe the deputy president is now trying to get back Jubilee Party from Raphael Tuju and the rest. So that's the first trap which was laid for the deputy president, and they walked into it, and is trapped there. The second trap is what we are seeing today. The fact of the matter is that the deputy president played very smart politics, and he managed to get hold of Jubilee Party and their supporters. So Uhuru took control of Jubilee Party. Now what about their supporters? In central Kenya, which is Uhuru's stronghold, the deputy president was controlling. In fact, at some point by last year, it was being said that if elections were to be held in central Kenya, the deputy president was going to win with a huge margin against President Uhuru Kenyatta. So Uhuru Kenyatta also started planning for that. So the only way for Uhuru Kenyatta to convince his people was to provoke the deputy president, to make him angry. Because it's known that the deputy president is a very vengeful man within the political circles. And the people of central Kenya would not allow the deputy president to confront Uhuru Kenyatta. So Uhuru Kenyatta engineered this strategy of provoking the deputy president. The deputy president, to his credit, up to now, has avoided any confrontation. Probably he is aware of this game. But his allies have played right into this game plan. Joan Angeno recently talked. Oscar Sudi talked, and even today he addressed the media. But one thing Oscar Sudi failed to understand was the fact that these guys just wanted a small provocation so that they can go use this provocation to go back to their people and tell them that if this guy becomes the president, mutakuwa na shida. And already there are major demonstrations in Nairobi. The clip I'm playing next is actually a demonstration in Nakuru.
Tunyamaza sasa, tunyamaza tuseme esto.
Respect our mothers. In the past 2 days, we have seen and heard elected members of the Jubilee Party, especially from the Rift Valley, led by His Excellency William Ruto, talk in a language that shows total disrespect to our nation's mother, Her Excellency Makwiny Kenyatta. In this regard, we, the people of Nakuru County, the mother of Jubilee Party, and the Rift Valley region at large, would like to state as follows. That we respect the sacredness of motherhood. As such, we condemn in the strongest words possible despicable behavior by our country's second in command and his political allies. The Jubilee government was born in Uhuru County, and that we are not going to allow leaders elected on Jubilee Party to continue abusing our party leader and the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta.
Number 3 is the game of numbers. For a long time, so many people believed that the deputy president had the numbers. It is now coming to reality that those numbers are not there. The deputy president must get numbers from central Kenya. This has been exposed, and that's why I said the other day, I was telling someone that the results for 2022 general election were actually released on that headline in the Daily Nation on Monday. You got me right. So the idea behind those numbers, which I did a comprehensive analysis on, was to show the numbers, or you can refer to it as the tyranny of numbers for Raila Odinga, another theory which is being crafted. So today it is coming to reality that without the support of central Kenya, William Ruto might not even get 25% in 24 counties. So that trap has been played. He has been played. Now his people are busy trying to get to president And these guys will just unite. Someone was telling me on this channel that the only problem the deputy president has is that he has not realized that central Kenya will only need two things, which they have always used. They need the radio stations and their musicians, the artists there. So once they'll get the artists and the radio stations to propagate whatever they want, then the deputy president will be hanged live. So they've exposed those numbers. And lastly, the Mount Kenya political interests. The Mount Kenya political and economic interests. Central Kenya are well aware that they are not going to become the next president of the Republic of Kenya. They are well aware. But they are also well aware that they need to be in politics and that their economy must be taken care of. So the deputy president has been set up. Uhuru Kenyatta came up with this issue of the revenue of allocation formula. As the president, I would not have expected the president to support it. The president is adamant that 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling. And that is very popular. That 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling is very popular in central Kenya. The deputy president is keen on pleasing the other side, which is good for him politically. But the fact of the matter is, these guys are setting him against the people of central Kenya. So they'll go there and tell him, our interest was 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling. What was your stand on it? The people of central Kenya don't care. They don't. That's the reality. And I love them. Because the thing is, if something is benefiting you, why should you let it go? You can take this to the bank. The senator for Nyeri cannot take a stand like the one taken by Cleophas Malala and survive. He can't. He will never be forgiven. Malala can take that stand, and the people of Western Kenya, Kakamega, can actually clap for him that he's doing good. He's trying to protect the interests of the people of Turkana. You can't say that to the Muranga senator. It can't happen. So the deputy president has played right into that game. And the people of central Kenya are now being told, this guy cannot take care of your interest. And look at the way he's not treating your boss, your man, Uhuru Kenyatta. So those are the traps which the president laid for his deputy. And his deputy walked right into those traps. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. Again, if you're watching this video for the first time, take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time you produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day.